You asked me a question and I just answered your question. And then you were amused by my completely reasonable answer, which is weird.
Could you repeat your reasonable answer for the listeners?
I just said yes.
You said, duh.
That's not what I said, dear listener. I'm being slandered.
That's it. You press recording 5 seconds too late and you have no receipts.
Yeah. Sucks to be you.
Okay.
In the times of brick phones, Tamagotchis, and curtain bangs, the 90s kids cried out for a badass. She was Xena, the warrior princess. The kicks, the moves, the nostalgia, the queerness. Xena made us gay.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Alice.
And I'm Kris. And you're listening to Xena Made Me Gay.
Yes.
So today we are going to be talking about episode 6 of season 2. But before we go any deeper into that, we would like to give a little shout out to another podcast. We know that there are many podcasts in the world. And
especially right now. Mm-hmm.
It could be that you don't need yet another podcast lined up somewhere. And yet we can't help it because it's just too good. So there's a new podcast. It literally just started airing a few weeks ago. And it's called Xena Warrior Nutballs. And it's not the same as ours. I think these are actually two very complementary podcasts, ours and Xena Warrior Nutballs, because what they do is interview people who have actually worked on the show. And that's their way of celebrating the 30th anniversary of the show. For example, the first episode is already an absolute pleasure to listen to. It's with Donnie Duncan, who was the director of photography for 77 of the episodes of the show, which is so absolutely impressive. And the interview is fantastic. I found out so much that I didn't know about New Zealand, about the process, about really cool hacks that they had to come up with in order to film certain things. It's really, really great. And if you want to both rewatch or remember the show with us and find out about the people who worked on the show and how they did it, these would be excellent two podcasts to listen to together. So yeah, shout out Xena Warrior Nutballs. Really, really cool that it's happening. And just as a side note, we weren't even asked to promote this other podcast. We just found it completely randomly and loved it. And that's why we are mentioning it in case y'all also want to check it out. Yeah, we're recommending it just because we genuinely think it's good.
Yeah, about the 30th anniversary, we haven't said anything, but I think that that's also something that we should celebrate. And yeah, it's bonkers that this show that has been our teenage obsession is still going strong.
I mean, you say our teenage obsession. I was 6 when I started watching.
Teenage obsession and the obsession of One Little Goblin is still going strong. New podcasts are emerging. Hopefully people are listening to this podcast, fingers crossed. And yeah, it's still very culturally relevant.
For sure. Yeah. It's been aging like fine wine, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely not something that we can say about a lot of media that's like 15 years old, let alone 30.
Yeah. That was my thought exactly. Like even like watching something from like 2000s, you're like, oh no, no. This is not happening. They're not saying that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that being said, let's jump into episode 6 of season 2, Warrior ... Princess ... Tramp.
Okay. They keep multiplying.
Yeah, we'll get to that. In this episode, we're back in medieval times. We open on a scene where Princess Diana, it's immediately made clear that it's Princess Diana and not Xena because of the dress and how she holds herself, is cradling a baby and shedding tears at the bedside of her sick father, the king. Her husband, Philemon, is standing right beside her, being useless. They chat about the fact that these are troubling times when the king is sick and is almost ready to kick it. And just so that the stocks do not plummet and the market goes strong in the medieval kingdom, they summon Xena just in case. Then we cut straight to the tavern where Joxer is telling folks stories about how he defeated Callisto. I guess that is meant to signify that some time has passed after the tragically heterosexual events of the previous episode, aka Gabrielle's husband being killed by Callisto. Anyway, Gabby is here and she's correcting Joxer's stories. And she seems fine. So yeah, maybe some time has passed. Maybe she's a little angry. More on that later. In the palace, Princess Diana greets Xena. Xena seems normal-ish and introduces Diana to her friend and advisor, the Brechtian villain-looking guy. Diana is like, okay, swell. And since Diana was so impressed with Xena after their last episode together, she commands the guards to obey Xena's orders as if she were the king herself. Xena's first orders are, as it happens, to throw Gabrielle in a dungeon as soon as Gabrielle finds Xena in a palace.
Yeah, so Gabrielle finds out that Xena has already left the tavern, goes to the palace, gets there pretty soon after Xena. And Xena's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. You go into the dungeon. And the guards grab her and throw her into the dungeon while she's being very confused.
Yeah, it's weird, right? It's weird. But wait, this is not Xena. This is Meg, a third woman who just happens to be born with the same exact features as Xena, warrior princess, and Diana, the medieval princess of the particular medieval kingdom in ancient Greece. There's a third one. This, like, we just have to make do with that because it's not explained how it happened.
Yeah,
spoiler
and
alert.
I love that they even have the same haircuts. Mm-hmm. Like. Mm-hmm. They could have had the same genetic makeup through whatever sorcery, you know, but they also independently have all chosen the exact same hairstyle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in their defense, it's the 90s, and Gabrielle's haircut is also kind of similar at this point, like the bangs.
Yeah. It's I mean, as we say in our intro, in the times of curtain bangs.
Yeah. So curtain bangs going strong on all three of those women. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's not explained how it came to be. However, we found out that the Brechtian villain-looking guy is the mastermind behind the plot. In a way befitting a Brechtian villain, he stands near the window in his black smock and relays his whole evil plan in detail.
Yeah, like fully villain-splaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's why I called him that. Like he's very much this, ooh, I'm an evil figure. And as an evil figure, this is what I'll do. Mm-hmm. So this is the plan. Have Meg pose as Xena, kill Xena on her way to the castle, switch Meg with Diana, the princess, kill the king, and rule the medieval kingdom.
That's a lot of steps.
A lot of steps, but like he's very sure of himself. And of course, he also casually mentions that he wants to start a war with the neighboring kingdom and sell their people into slavery. So now you understand why I called him the Brechtian villain. He suits this part perfectly.
I guess I associate Brecht primarily with deliberate artificiality and breaking the fourth wall. I don't actually think of what the characters are like. So when you were like Brechtian villain, I was like, what is that even? So I did need the explanation.
I guess, yeah, for me, it kind of like comes to mind really easily because I'm a theater kid. Both my parents are theater directors by at least at some point in their lives. So yeah, for me, the Brechtian villain is just like this, like think of a very, very typical villain. Like in comparison to this villain, the Disney villains seem very subtle and like they have motivation to do stuff. Like this one is just like he's evil for the sake of evil. And I think that it's kind of like this mask that this guy is playing. And like there's not a lot of action on his side.
No, he does fuck all.
Yeah. So anyway, the rest of the episode is spent in this comedy of errors. Speaking of theater, people confuse Meg with Diana and Xena. There's a lot of switching back and forth. So also fake Xena keeps Gabby in the dungeon for most of the episode because it's quote unquote the plan. And Gabrielle gets increasingly frustrated and angry. More on that later. And then Joxer gets in the mix. It's a good episode for Joxer, I would have to say.
Yes, both in terms of how much screen
action
time he gets and how much action he gets.
Yeah. So we find out that Meg is really horny all the time for all sorts of random dudes, but mostly for Joxer.
Yeah. Wait, were there other dudes? I was so focused on the Joxer thing that I completely missed that she was interested in anyone else at any point.
So I think it was implied, like scrolling ahead when real Xena gets to the tavern.
Right?
There are
yeah,
all sorts of random dudes who are like, ooh, baby, we did it last night. Let's do it again. And Xena's like,
yes,
what's going on? So yeah, it appears that Joxer and Meg hooked up when Meg was posing as Xena in the tavern. And when Joxer gets to the palace and is let in, he first tries to kind of end it with Meg, thinking that it's Xena, because, quote, he's ruining her friendship with Gabrielle, which I thought was kind of sweet.
Yeah, and I remember that a few episodes ago, we talked about how Joxer seems to be the only one who doesn't understand what's happening between Xena and Gabrielle, but I think we might need to revise that. Like, I don't see any other explanation for why he would say that in that particular situation other than he understands.
Yeah, maybe, actually. Joxer might be not as simple as we thought. Yeah,
that's what I'm discovering so far, and it's unexpected, but I'm into it.
But yeah, Joxer first kind of tries to break up with Xena, but then he is wandering the palace halls and he sees a woman who looks exactly like Xena wearing a princess dress with cleavage, and Joxer is like, all right, boobs, you got me, and grabs her ass.
Which is, I don't know, like, it's weird because I would say that Xena's normal outfit is quite booby.
No, I think that the armor bra covers more flesh than this princess dress, I would argue.
But not a lot more.
No, not by a lot. And like, it shows, like, Xena's typical outfit shows much more leg, but I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe.
Generally, I would say Xena's outfit shows a lot more skin than Diana's.
Maybe. I don't know. Joxer's
just what? Like 100%. What do you mean maybe?
I was just thinking of the cleavage again, but I don't know.
I understand that it's really hard for you to stop thinking about cleavage.
Yeah,
We've all had those problems, but think about what your therapist said and bring your mind back
out of the gutter.
I mean,
so I would just say that Joxer's justification is like, oh, ew, new outfit. You put it on for me. Let me grab your ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, he grabs that woman's ass, and of course it turns out to be real Princess Diana, and Joxer gets thrown into the dungeon with Gabrielle, where he tells her all about his sexual adventures with Xena, and Gabrielle, without a shred of doubt, says, "Ha, impossible."
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what happened, but I 100% know what didn't happen.
Yeah. And she even adds, "You're not her type." And we're like, "Yep, Gabby, we know who her type is." But still, Gabrielle is not having a good time in this episode, because then Meg comes in, gets Joxer out of the dungeon, and leaves Gabrielle there, because remember the plan. And Gabby's rage levels skyrocket, and we start to seriously worry about her mental health.
I mean, I think after the last episode, I feel a lot better about Gabby's mental health.
True. I mean, like, anger is definitely better than just being sad, I guess, more productive. But like, she leans into that.
I don't know about that. That's a value judgment I'm not ready to make, actually.
That anger is better than sadness?
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't seem like a clear. That doesn't seem like a self-evident fact to me.
No. It's just my thought, because I was kind of like thinking like that about my own emotions. But yeah, it's not black and white.
Maybe it's good that you just think about cleavage more.
Agreed. Meanwhile, you might be wondering where the real Xena is. She is in the tavern. The same tavern that we saw at the beginning of the episode, waiting for Gabrielle. And the men in the tavern who previously hooked up with Meg try to come onto Xena, mistaking her for her lookalike.
Uh-oh.
And they promptly get their asses kicked with spectacular efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
And this scene is really enjoyable. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like every time Xena kicks the shit out of some poor schmuck who tries to harass her is healing my childhood trauma.
Oh, baby.
So yeah, it's a very enjoyable scene. And soon after, when Dila deals with all those dudes in the tavern, the hired baddie sent by the Brechtian villain to kill Xena enters the tavern. He wants to attack her, but naturally Xena deals with him easily by blowing strong alcohol over a candle that, in her hands, has the effects of a mid-sized flamethrower.
Yeah. I definitely tried replicating that trick as a kid, and that's not the result I got. I could get a similar result whenever I sprayed perfume over candles.
Like a similar result in terms of like the flames.
Yeah, it's like
okay.
You can try.
At your own discretion, dear listener. We're not responsible for home fires started after this episode. So Xena eventually reaches the palace, gets Gabrielle out of the dungeon before Gabby has an anger-induced aneurysm. They figure out that there's a third bad Xena and agree to find her.
It's actually kind of, I don't know, I think there's a strange dissonance that exists in this episode where we're clearly supposed to see Meg as a three-dimensional person with her issues and her reasons for doing what she's doing, but they keep referring to Meg as like the bad one, and it's strange. It feels almost a bit out of character for Xena and Gabrielle to be like, yeah, that's the bad one.
I don't know. I kind of felt that it was all right for me, because there is a shift, like a tonal shift with Gabrielle and Meg closer to the end of the episode. But I think for that to happen first, she needed to hate her a bit. And she does hate her after the dungeon sitting.
Yeah, but even Xena says the bad one at some point.
Yeah. I think Xena just like uses that term for efficiency. She's like,
maybe,
I'm Xena.
Maybe.
this is Diana, and that's the bad one. And like when they find out her name, they start calling her Meg, but like that also happens like closer to the end of the episode.
I know. I guess it just rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. But yeah, Joxer also is there, like trying to kind of like get in on the action, a different kind of action this time.
Yes, I mean both.
Both, yeah. And he's like, well, how would I know that that's like not the real Xena? And Xena says, if you see a woman who looks like me and is even slightly interested in you as a man, that's the bad one. So a bunch more switches happen. I'm not going to describe every single one of them because like at some point they just like switch places every 2 minutes in the episode. But yeah, Meg is posing as Diana. Diana is kidnapped. Diana's baby is kidnapped. Xena is posing as Meg to find Diana. Diana's baby is hung in a cradle on a chandelier over burning flame. Philemon, Diana's husband, keeps being useless.
Yeah, I am shocked that you're naming him.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew his name from the previous episode when Diana appeared, but like, yeah, he does a spectacular job of doing
fuck all,
absolutely nothing.
yeah. Even he does even less than the Brechtian villain.
Yeah,
and the Brechtian villain is not active. He's just mostly there.
Yeah. Well, men. And before Xena inevitably saves the day, Meg manages to have a very funny catfight with Gabby, tell Gabby her sad life story, and then have some bonding time with King Leas, who gets to listen to her and, interestingly enough, like kind of becomes sort of like a father figure to Meg in a very short period of time. And
yeah,
again,
like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. And again, like I want to talk about father figures a little later.
Yeah, so much teasing about. We'll talk about this later. We'll discuss this later. I can't wait.
Keep listening. In the end, all is fine. The Brechtian villain is defeated. The baby is magically fine, although Xena and the baddies partook in some traditional fun activity of throwing the baby around like a basketball. That's kind of like what we do with infants on Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
Diana and her useless husband are in the rightful place. King Leas is magically okay.
Yeah, that was so random. Like at some point he's literally like, oh, dying. I think I'm dying. And then by the end of the episode, it's like, oh no, he's totally fine. It's like, oh,
I mean,
what? Okay.
I could say that it's a plot hole, but on the other hand, like having been around some older, not gentlemen, but older ladies in my life, I know that that's something they do. Today I'm dying, and tomorrow I'm kind of fine.
Yeah, and we must not forget that the best physician that has ever lived or will ever exist in the history of the universe was present. So maybe Xena did heal him.
Like he breathed the same air as her for some time.
That also helps.
That's enough.
I'm sure breathing the same air as Xena would do wonders for my own health as well.
We would want to try at least.
Yeah, my skin will clear. My anxiety will fade away.
True. So yeah, and the last thing that happens, Meg stays on in the palace and becomes a cook, because during the bonding time they were talking about how she's good at cooking and good with spices, and King Leas was like, I like spices. That's enough. And Meg stays on in the palace. She becomes a cook and apparently keeps fucking Joxer, because after he says goodbye to Gabrielle and Xena, he ditches them, much to their delight, and goes back to sneak in the palace through the kitchen door. The end.
So let's talk about some details that stood out to us in the episode.
So first of all, Gabrielle is a strawberry blonde now. And for some reason, like for me at least, I don't know, maybe there's something with the coloring on my screen, but there's a stark contrast between her hair in this episode and like at least a couple of episodes ago, maybe even in the previous episode, like I think she's marked darker now, like almost red. And she was a blonde when we started. So that's weird.
I have no clue. Let me try to look up some screenshots. Okay. No, same color.
Same color? Okay. Maybe I just noticed it. But like I think that definitely there is a contrast between season 1 and now. And
maybe it changed between seasons, yeah.
Between seasons. And there's going to be a starker contrast, like, because I remember Gabrielle in later seasons when she has her short haircut. And her hair is almost bleached then, remember?
Oh, it's
like
fully bleached.
She's like a platinum blonde.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
Ancient Greek bleach at that times.
I mean, that's not the most exotic product that is incredibly available in the Xena universe to anyone who wants it. Generally,
True.
the beauty industry of the Xena universe is doing great.
yeah, makeup products and everything. Yeah, but like coming back to the plot a little bit, it was interesting to me that in the very first scene with Joxer in the tavern, Joxer is telling the story about how he defeated Callisto. Gabrielle objects. I don't remember it like that, like in terms of like, oh, you're shitting these folks, bro. And Joxer, trying to save his face, says, that's because you were tied up. And Gabrielle comes back, so were you. But he literally wasn't. He was the one who saved the day, remember?
Yes. They didn't have time to time up once he...
I don't think so.
Was like knocked out. I think he was just knocked out, and then Xena got the chakram and all hell broke loose. Yeah.
So I understand that it might be a minor continuity or error, but I want to think about it as Gabby is an unreliable narrator too. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we've even talked about that a little bit when we did the David and Goliath episode.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of Gabby, I think Joxer is the first person in the show itself to call Gabrielle Gabby. So we have him to thank for that.
I know. I was so surprised. I was certain that Gabby is a name that only the fans used. But no, Joxer called her Gabby, so it's canon.
yeah. And actually it could be a fan name in terms of like Joxer. It's the season 2. So like some people might already be calling her Gabby off screen, and Joxer is just like relaying it to us. But I like that detail. It was kind of
maybe Joxer is also in the fan club.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He definitely is. Maybe not in this episode, but he will be. And yeah, speaking of Joxer, we're going to speak a lot of Joxer in this episode. I really actually enjoyed his presence, weirdly.
It was good.
For the person who hated him throughout my teenage years. Mending fences with Joxer. And that being said, I really liked where he was like trying to quote unquote break up with Meg, thinking that was Xena.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't deserve you as a lover.
Well, so first of all, true. Again, like no
offense.
It's not it's a little bit offense, but like this is not us disliking Joxer. This is just us recognizing a fact.
Yeah. And secondly,
I appreciate a little bit of self-awareness from him. That's not what Gabby's husband would have said.
Yeah, true. But yeah, another great moment of like Joxer and his fake relationship with Xena is when real Xena actually comes, and Joxer still thinks that Xena is very much horny for him, and Joxer just casually grabs her ass, and like because it's Joxer and she knows him, he manages to do that as opposed to guys in the tavern.
She doesn't have her guard up, because in what universe would he be this stupid.
Yeah, and like it's the best scene ever because Zena turns slowly, her eyes are glaring. She's like not even mad. She's like surprised. She's like, "Are you suicidal?"
Like she cannot comprehend, I think.
Yeah. And then of course like she punches him and sends him flying across the room.
Yeah, like literally. I do think he travels at least like 3-5 meters in the air.
Definitely. Yeah. Like this episode has a lot of really funny moments. Like another one that I really enjoyed was when the nurse asks Meg, who is dressed as Diana at this point, to like go and sing a lullaby to the baby.
Yeah, because like otherwise it doesn't sleep or something.
Yeah. And Meg is like cradling the baby, like she put her feet on the cradle and cradling her baby like that and singing 55 bottles of beer on the wall, 55 bottles of beer, like that. I can so relate.
What? You neither have a baby to cradle nor do you drink.
No, but
which part do you relate to? Nor is your singing bad.
Okay, so I relate to awkwardness around babies.
Ah.
Like you could see that Meg is so miserable and that like that song has like it's been going on for some time, and like we see her just like moving the cradle with her feet, singing the song, trying to sing the song, and just like in the background we see the nurse absolutely horrified at what's going on.
Yeah, but also I think similarly to Xena when she had her ass grabbed by Joxer, not so much horrified as like not being able to comprehend what the fuck is happening and how it could even be happening. Like, is it a dream? Like, am I on drugs?
Yeah, it's that kind of facial expression. And I don't know, like I mean, it's a silly premise that there are 3 Xenas, 3 identical women.
Oh, you think?
But in some, like, because this episode is so silly, and because we kind of needed that goofiness after the heavier previous episode, right? Like, it's kind of, I enjoy the silly moments. Like, for example, another one that I really liked is when real Xena finally arrives in the palace, and Gabrielle is like, well, like, prove that you're not a fake one, and she just casually throws the chakram that like knocks down a bunch of stuff and then flies back to her.
Yeah, and actually that scene is really weird because the first target that she chooses for her chakram is one of the guards, and the guards has to move his shield in order to not be hit by the chakram. Like, were that guard slightly distracted or just slower, this chakram would have fully killed him. That's so irresponsible from Xena. I was disappointed in her.
No, don't be disappointed in her. I have 2 explanations off the top of my head. The first one, Xena is like, if you're a guard, put your guard up and don't be distracted.
Yeah, okay.
And the second one is, as we know, the chakram is basically a living thing, so he wouldn't kill that guard, right?
That's true. It would course correct itself to be like, oh shit, this guard is out of it. Well, fine. I'm gonna fly a bit lower, further to the right.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, we talked about it a while ago, so maybe we can just remind our listeners. But like, just because the chakram is doing so many incredible things and flying in absolutely improbable directions of just being a weapon, we just decided that it's basically a living thing. He has a mind of his own. He's like more like a
I like that you're just fully heing him at this point.
He's more of a pet than a weapon at this point.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And yeah, speaking of chakram, another episode, another scene in the episode that I really enjoyed, that at some point closer to the end, all three identical women present themselves as Xena at some point. So first Diana is trying to pose as Xena, and she's saying like, oh, like, you baddies have to step away because I will throw my trusted round thingy. And they're like, okay, like, yeah, that's not Xena. She steps away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She steps away. No, she gets captured.
No, she gets like captured. They hold her. And then Meg is like, who dares to threaten me? I am going to revenge you with my trusted shamrock. That was great. And that, of course, then the third one is the real one, because we don't have a fourth identical copy, I guess. But yeah.
Will we ever, or is 3?
No, I think 3 is enough. No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing that I wanted to talk about is Meg herself and her sad life story being basically a parody of the quote unquote sad life stories told by characters that kind of like are off the right path, because she says, well, yeah, I've been on my own all my life. My father died in childbirth.
Yeah, I really like that, actually. And that's true. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Because while her mom was giving birth to her dad like slipped off the roof or something drunk and died.
Yeah.
Which, like, obviously is not funny, but it also extremely is.
It kind of is. And yeah, I liked Gabrielle's reaction where she was like, because at this point she kind of like she's a softie. She listens to Meg. She's nodding. She wants to kind of like be supportive. And she's like, your father died in childbirth? Like, just checking there. So I don't think that there is a right answer. I don't think that the screenwriters thought of that, but just for the heck of it, do you have an explanation of 3 identical women living in the ancient world? Like, why is there 3 Xenas?
Yeah. Do we get any other twins? Not like twins as in they have the same parents, but
no, we
carbon
get
copies.
We have the same actor playing different characters. Of course, we meet Joxer's identical brothers. He has 2 brothers. One,
right? No, but that's not what I mean. I mean people who are identical without having the same parents.
No, I don't think so. I think they played out this storyline.
So it's something particular to Xena. Yeah. So if we do go with if we do accept that Xena is a demigod, fathered by Ares.
That was my thought exactly.
Ares has a lot of love to share with the universe, I assume. Despite that not being generally his thing.
But they all did it. All the gods did it. So
yes. And so maybe there's something kind of magical about his god sperm.
That only produces women who look like Xena.
Who only produces women who look like Xena so that he can then be extremely horny for them.
Yeah, like, and also, if that were the case, he should just go to Meg, because I think that she would be down.
But I don't think he would. I think he likes
a challenge.
Xena. Well, first of all, yes, but I also think that he likes Xena's complexity and this kind of internal fight in her. Whereas I think Meg is, even though she's not necessarily living the life that she wants to be, she's not the person who deals with a lot of inner conflicts. It seems like she's like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to be doing this, but I have to. And that's that.
Yeah.
Whereas Xena constantly has this struggle. And so he feels like there's more for him to play with.
Yeah. I actually don't have a theory of my own, because that was exactly what I was thinking. Like, Ares. Look what you've done.
Oh, he's looking.
Yeah. So yeah, and with that, I think we can really discuss kind of like the themes and the arcs of this episode. And one of them actually is very interesting to me. Oh. It's Gabrielle's rage problems, or not even problems. Like maybe that's a good thing for her, but like it's a very interesting thing because it's, I think, the first time where in my like conscious existence I'm watching it from beginning to end. I rewatched the show a couple of times, but I never like started from episode 1 and then went onwards. And even if when I was watching it as a teen, like I was watching it on TV, I missed a couple of episodes.
Yeah, of course.
So it's my first experience of basically looking at a character's arc. And I think that there is the character's arc here. Like I believe that Gabrielle, as we know her, who is very competitive, very irritable, like very quick to be angry, actually. And that might be this thing that ignited in her after she kind of dealt with the trauma of the previous episode, because that's a pretty new thing for her, I would say. Like she was irritated in the previous episodes a couple of times, but never at this level. And I think that we're going to see more of that, actually.
I wonder what direction that's going to go to once she goes into her extreme nonviolence Buddhism thing. I don't remember how that happens.
Yeah. I do remember how that happens. And I think that it could be actually an overcorrection at her. Like, like, I don't know how to say it, but like she could feel that she has too much anger, actually. So she kind of craves that calm that is offered to her.
Yeah. So like people who can either stop drinking alcohol altogether forever or drink too much of it so that it messes with their lives. Maybe she has a similar relationship with rage where she just kind of understands that she needs a more radical solution for it to be effective.
Yeah. And I dig that. I like it. And I think as I am looking at Joxer through different eyes, I'm looking at Gabrielle through different eyes also, because before, again, like I always liked Xena. I never liked Gabrielle. I was always irritated at how bad of a writer she is and like how it's treated. It's an important thing for me.
Oh no, yeah, fully. Like it's baffling and irritating as fuck. I am with you.
Yeah. But now when you look at her as like this very flawed human being, I think you start to feel for her more. So yeah, I'm excited to watch on. No?
Yeah, I don't know. I have fully redeemed Joxer in my eyes so far. But not Gabby. I think Gabby annoys me more on this rewatch.
Interesting. Why?
I don't know. I think in part maybe it's a compliment to the show that her flaws are believable. And I guess I am sort of watching her from Xena's point of view. And I'm like, if I had to deal with this person on a daily basis, I would claw my eyes out.
Yeah. I can see that it's not easy dating Gabrielle.
Oh God. But like, honestly, nightmare scenario.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So I definitely would not want to date Gabrielle or have her in my life generally in any significant way.
Yeah.
But I was thinking in terms of bringing in people from the show into my life, I would not mind King Leas to be somewhere there. Like, not as my father. He seems a bit boring, but maybe like a grandpa. I would take King Leas as a grandpa.
he has this grandpa energy, which makes sense. Like he's quite old and like he
is literally a grandpa. Like we find out that he has become a grandfather at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, and like we assume that Diana, I guess, like is a late in life child for him. Like I think like he's like in his 70s, maybe like later. But yeah, he is nice, and like as I said, he kind of sort of becomes like a father figure to Meg, which is kind of sweet, because the same thing actually happens to Gabrielle, because she's like, I don't want to sympathize with you when she's listening to Meg's story, but she's like, but you look like my best friend so much.
Yeah.
And I would assume that that's something that happened to the king also, because
for sure, of course, yeah.
She looks exactly like his daughter, and she kind of needs advice and a little support, and he gives that to her, and that's kind of sweet. And I'm thinking that I don't remember other touchingly sweet and nice father figures in this show, because the first one that comes to mind again, like, is Ares posing as Xena's father, which is like, we don't want to open that can of worms.
No.
Like, abuse with a sprinkle of incest.
Just the right cocktail.
Yeah, and I guess there was this sword for hire.
The guy with PTSD.
Yeah, and Gabrielle bonded with him, but I was not as partial to him. Like, I didn't like him as much.
I thought he was a really good character for someone who only had a 1 episode long arc.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was a good father, obviously, but he was a very believable one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he was a very believable one, but like he was insufferable in his own way, and like King Lear is more of a sweetheart, I think.
But I don't think that King Lear is a good character. I think he's so inoffensive that he's too bland.
I guess he's there to serve the plot more than be a character. I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of serving the plot, I loved Philemon in this, and I'm reminding everybody that it's Meg's husband. If you forget, because it's only natural that you forget, because he's there. Like, they cast the same actor who was playing.
Yeah. They fully were like, okay, we have to have the same guy because of reasons.
Yeah. But like, at some point, Xena leaves him with Diana, and he kind of like sort of sleepily asks, like, oh, but should I go and like do something to like rescue my baby? And I thought that Xena would say, oh no, you stay here and protect Diana. She doesn't even say that. She's like, just stay here. And he's like, oh, all right. Just nothing.
Just heavily sedated.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. Again, like, I don't remember what comes next, but it just seems that as the show kind of progressively gets more into queer culture, and like particularly lesbian culture, maybe we just are gonna get more of the useless heterosexual men who are like, just like, they're just there, or they're Brechtian villains, like one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Philemon is unusual in his uselessness. I think we haven't had a lot of characters that were such background objects. Yeah. If you know what I mean. So he doesn't hurt, he doesn't help, he's like a plant. Yeah. He's like a house plant. And maybe that's good. As in, if you have to be married to a man, maybe that's the best case scenario, where he's so easy to ignore that you can just live your life and, you know, have the husband because whatever the society requires you to. But other than that, he doesn't like interfere with your life.
Well, this one definitely doesn't, like.
Yeah, so maybe it's a kind of a fantasy. Like, imagine if you were married, but it's almost like you're not.
And speaking of unmarried, I have another question for you. Do you think Meg's horniness is a little slut-shamey in this episode?
That is a very good question. I think so. I think there's an element of that because I think that we're supposed to kind of lump in her promiscuity with her general
Trampiness, basically.
her
She's a
general
tramp,
trampiness,
right?
yes. And Joxer coming into the picture is kind of her part of her road to redemption. So she meets this guy. They're going to fall in love. They're going to have a monogamous relationship.
They really are like.
No, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this is how we see her, become better as a person. I wouldn't say it's too bad. Like it's not very explicit that we're supposed to judge her. Because also it's played for comedic effect, and I think that helps. Like any flaw that's played for comedic effect automatically becomes a bit harder to judge harshly.
On the other hand, the fact that it's a comedic effect kind of is the judgment here.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and that's why. But I started with saying yes, I do think it's slut shaming to some extent.
Yeah,
but again, remembering that it's the mid-90s, and it's mainstream TV. It's not too bad. Like I wouldn't say that it bothered me during this episode where I was like, I don't love you doing this. I was like, yeah, oh well.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I also had this feeling because I also looked at Meg through different eyes this time, and I liked her. And I was like, oh yeah, she's a free person. If she wants to fuck, she'll fuck. Like that's cool. Like, but then I was like, but I don't think the show agrees with me here.
And to a certain extent, that does not matter.
Yep.
I think we mentioned death of the author in the last episode as well. If it reads as her just being a person who's free to do whatever the fuck she wants, then we can just go with it regardless of what the showrunners intended. I do think it still appears in the text, but like in the academic sense of the text, that it's not all nice. Another thought that I had was that it is left a little bit ambiguous whether Meg is doing any sex work.
Yeah, true.
I think there is reasonable space for us to like fill in the gaps and be like, okay, did she approach all these men just because she was extremely horny for no reason? Or was there also some kind of a exchange?
Yeah.
Which, like, it doesn't make it better or worse necessarily, because then we're talking, instead of talking about slut shaming, we're talking about sex worker stigma, and that's also real. But I think just in terms of what her motivations are, I think that's a plausible explanation. Instead of just, her enjoying fucking lots of random dudes.
True. We could look at her that way also. Damn, like Meg is a very well-rounded character, actually.
Yeah. Do you remember how much we are going to see her in the future?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, she marries Joxer. They have a kid, and spoiler alert for later seasons that Kris also kind of missed. When Xena and Gabrielle come back from the dead like 20 years later.
Of course, yes. When Xena and Gabrielle come back from the dead 20 years later, now I remember.
Yeah. They meet the haughty son of Joxer and Meg, first of all. And secondly, Meg is jealous of Xena because she's like, well, like Xena came back and Joxer actually always loved Xena because I think that there is this plot there. And now I'm thinking that actually that makes sense, because imagine like you marry the guy and then you live with him like for like until you're like,
okay, wait. You need to give me more time to imagine that I married a guy.
Sorry. Use your imagination.
Okay. I think I'm there. I think I have found an image of myself married to a guy somewhere in my head. I'm doing my best to hold on to it. Keep
now
going.
Imagine it's Joxer.
Fuck. You lost me.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like she basically experiences her younger self, because Xena and her look alike, her younger self coming back, and she's like, well, now he's gonna dump me for my younger self. That's like a very deep stuff. Meanwhile, the fun credits of this episode say neither Xena nor her remarkably coincidental identical twin Diana were harmed during the production of this motion picture. Meg, however, suffered minor injuries while preparing aardvark nuggets for King Leas.
Aardvark.
What is our aardvark?
Well, the reason everyone knows about aardvarks is that it's usually the first word in a dictionary. It's like a small animal, looks a bit like imagine the spectrum between a mouse and a kangaroo. So now that we've talked about the episode and all of the remarkable moments and themes, what would you say the gayest moment was of this episode?
I would say Gabrielle, without a doubt, saying impossible when Joxer says that he slept with Xena.
Yeah. It wasn't a very gay episode, and I do think that was the main one. I can't think of anything else.
No.
And how many chakrams out of 10 would you give the episode?
That's like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Because it was so not gay, I would take away 1 point. I wanted to give it a 9, but I'll give it an 8.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's very high.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I don't think I enjoyed it any more than The Return of Callisto or Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Ooh, okay.
No, I think I'll stay with 6. I'm on the run of 6s. This is the third one. So we have this pretty little 666. But no, it was fine. Like, I didn't mind it, but I also didn't mind The Return of Callisto, and I also didn't mind Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So I'm waiting for an episode that will, make me feel something. So let's see whether the next episode can stir me a little bit more in one direction or the other. Maybe I hate it. Maybe I love it. We'll find out soon. The next episode is called Intimate Stranger.
Vaguely remember the plot. Kind of looking forward.
Okay. And until then, dear listeners, we would love it if you could check out our Instagram at Xena Made Me Gay. We're always happy to hear from you all. If you have any questions or wishes, or you want to tell us
a joke.
I was going to go with your deepest, darkest secret, but either is fine. Either is fine. We have range. I will read your secrets and Alice will read the jokes. All right. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.